good morning, and thank you for joining us and staying with us, being where you should be. And we are going to say hello and good morning to our one and only Tony Grant, who joins me daily to discuss the news you might have missed while scanning the headlines. I missed so much. What did I miss today?
Did you miss the black muck on the beach of Tel Aviv?
No, I heard about that. I saw some pictures.
Some of the muck?
The muck.
Yeah.
Did you walk into the muck? Oh my God, yeah. Wow, I'm awake. Okay.
Muck will alert us all.
It was disgusting.
Ma'ariv was doing some muck raking, journalism. Ma'ariv, a major Israeli daily.
Right.
That's the sort of a loose translation of what happened. I say muck raking because, number one, there was a problem with some sewage runoff onto the beaches of Tel Aviv.
Not the first time, sadly.
Not the first time. There were some rains recently, and apparently they are saying that the Tel Aviv municipality was ill-prepared to pre-prepare the drainage pipes for this onslaught
like
of muck.
Yeah.
I say muck raking because tomorrow are Tel Aviv's municipal elections.
Was heading that way.
Yes.
Okay.
So
yes.
Mr. Current Mayor may not have been proactive enough to handle that.
Yeah.
Of course, the beach is a major draw for Tel Aviv visitors and
not one of
residents.
It's residents internationally. It's it's what draws people to Tel Aviv.
Right.
But yes, and that is interesting. We don't think there was anything behind that.
It was just a little.
The elections.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
But the article's a little bit on the strident side, and the municipality, for its part, makes a distinction between muck and sewage. And they're saying that it wasn't actually sewage, it was just muck. It was muck.
What is the difference between muck and sewage?
Muck is the stuff that accumulates
Look at you, or muck expert, yes?
I'm a muckologist.
Yes,
the muck accumulates over the summer. It's very dry, so oil, debris that accumulates all over surfaces, and then one good rain and it all sort of filters. Right.
Yeah.
Sewage is different. Sewage comes from.
Sewage can kill you.
Right, and that wasn't the issue, but it was unsightly. It was leaving marks on the beaches, and so.
And it is the main draw. Okay. What else?
The Saudi Gazette.
Right, my favorite.
Right, Saudi Arabian paper. Interesting posts. They have an article in the opinion section, but still, called "The Idiocy of the Cultural Boycott of Israel." Now, we're talking about
That's the Saudis.
Yeah, Saudi Arabian paper, and there's an article here that comes out swinging against those that would impose a de facto cultural boycott of Israel. Right. Just the fact that this is appearing in a Saudi newspaper.
Very true.
I think Israel doesn't even have formal diplomatic relations with Saudi Arabia.
They seem to agree on a lot of things when it has to do with Iran.
This is true. This is true.
Nothing really signed, no real relations, but behind the scenes, I think we can always speculate.
Right.
But it's interesting because the cultural boycott of Israel has been a favorite sport of many European countries.
Exactly.
In many years.
Yeah. For example, Rihanna is giving her concert tomorrow in Tel Aviv, and there are those that would say that she shouldn't. I don't have a ticket though. But
I'm devastated. Okay.
I'll probably be able to hear the concert from all points in Tel Aviv. It's going to be loud. But there are those that would say she shouldn't do the concert.
And she's coming.
And she's coming. And so
next we'll have the Saudi king.
Yeah.
Who else? What else?
The New York Times reports that authors are accepting censors' rules to sell their books in China. And this is a fascinating piece because it talks about how there are book deals that are so lucrative if American authors can sell their works in China because of the huge market, but oftentimes they have to accept restrictions on the content and edit it down because otherwise it won't go through the Chinese censors. And they mention a Harvard professor who did a biography of Deng Xiaoping, the former Chinese leader.
And edited it down and went through, redacted it, basically?
Right. For example, in fact, the article shows where the Chinese redacted it. There was a part about how there was a dinner with Deng Xiaoping and Gorbachev during the Tiananmen Square protests, and Deng was so upset that he dropped his dumpling. That was taken out.
That is what happens when
he dropped his dumpling, and his chopsticks fell on the floor. But the Chinese said you can't say that in the Chinese edition. Okay. You can't. And the Harvard professor.
No dumping of dumplings.
No.
Okay.
But the professor said, okay. Take it out because I want to, make the extra money. So ethical issues.
No, fascinating stuff. Capitulating to the Chinese. Okay, what else?
But sharks are happy because China also, in the Washington Post, we see this headline in China: victory for wildlife conservation as citizens persuaded to give up shark fin soup. Now, sharks.
Isn't shark fin soup like a national dish?
It is, but there's been a campaign afoot in China to say, hey, the sharks are suffering, let's stop eating them. And apparently it's picked up steam and people are
are not
eating fewer shark fins.
Have you ever had
soups.
shark fin soup?
I don't want to get near a shark.
But what if it's in a soup? Fin or no soup?
I'll stick to Campbell's. Tomato bisque.
Tomato biscuit, that's the next one?
No,
that's your
with
soup.
bacon bits.
With bacon bits. You gotta love it.
No, but China, it's amazing that the story is happening because people think, oh, China, they don't do things like
It's
animal
true.
conservation.
Animal conservation, and there's a horrific, there are horrific stories coming out of China's zoos of animal cruelty.
Right.
I mean, they're not very in touch with preserving animals, but this is fascinating.
This is an example. The government actually began a campaign against extravagance. And it seems
shark fin soup
was on that extravagance hit list. And so it's good for nature, and it's a sign that China can make an impact on.
Oh, I love you, Tony. You make my morning. Yes, and what else?
Apples.
Of course. What about apples? From shark. Okay. I'm a little worried.
Cupertino.
Cupertino.
Is the world headquarters of Apple.
Of Apple. Ah.
Yeah. And they're building a donut-shaped
oh my God.
world new headquarters, and it was controversial at first because of some traffic concerns.
Of course.
It's sort of like the world's biggest artificial donut.
Or it looks like the biggest launch pad for ET when
it's a little bit frightening.
It's creepy.
Sir Norman Foster is building it, and they're starting to.
Is this something that was left in Steve Jobs' will? Build this monstrous, bizarre-looking thing and call it our headquarters.
I don't know. Personally, I think it's frightful. But people seem to like the fact that it's going to bring in new jobs and. Not Steve
and that
Jobs,
would be the headquarters, and then people would just be walking around in circles in this big donut.
Looking for the next iPhone innovation. Going in circles, hoping that it's going to come. But that's happening soon. They're going to start tearing down existing buildings on the site imminently.
Right.
And then start construction of the Big Apple donut.
The Big Apple donut.
It looks kind of like the Pentagon, I think, which is kind of creepy.
The Pentagon, but to me, it looks like everybody there believes in aliens, and they're waiting for them to launch. And
everyone in California is an alien.
Is an alien. There you go. Would that be it, or do I have something else?
Sydney.
Yes.
The Sydney Morning Herald.
Okay.
Reports that London is like so last decade.
London so over? Aussie Exodus. London is like so last decade.
It's like so last decade.
Okay.
The Aussies are not going to. They used to move to London in droves.
I know. I lived in London for 2 years. I was surrounded by Aussies.
Yeah. Well, now they're happy.
They're leaving?
They're staying in Australia.
Might be time to move back.
Yeah.
So London is no go for Aussies.
It's too expensive. It's not fun.
Okay. Are the Brits devastated?
Pardon?
Are the British devastated about it?
The Brits are unflappable. Yeah, they can live with the Aussies and they can live without them.
So they will. Tony, God bless you. Thank you for all of this this
Pleasure.
morning. You'll join me in the next hour. On to our next topic. JP Morgan and the United States Justice Department reached a $13 billion, that's the number, $13 billion tentative deal to settle an investigation into the company's bad mortgage loans. The deal doesn't free the bank from criminal liability, and joining us in studio to dig deeper into the case is I-24 News reporter Ellie Hogenberg. Ellie. Good morning. Thank you for staying with us. This is still the morning edition on I-24 News. It is still Monday, the 21st of October, 2013. And thank Allah for Tony Grant, who still joins me every morning on the second hour to give me the rundown on what is so hot on the web.
Well, seeing as how you mentioned Allah.
Yes.
Thank Allah for the Druze.
Yes.
The Druze.
We don't thank Allah for the Druze enough.
But you know who did thank the Druze the other day? Shimon Peres, Israel's president.
90-year-old president.
90-year-old, and he is out there.
Wow.
He says that the Druze community sets an example for all of Israeli society. He gave a special speech for Eid al-Adha at the home of Sheikh Muwaffaq Tariq.
Okay.
Tarif. 1,500 likes on Facebook for this photo of Israel's president talking to members of the Druze community. The Druze it's like an offshoot of Islam.
Yeah.
Druze,
they're very mystic.
They're mystic. I love them.
Yeah.
Their holy day apparently is Thursday, and so is mine. So,
and why is that?
Why is that? Fridays are overrated.
I agree.
Go for Thursday.
Go for Thursday. You can feel it in the air.
I do. I love Thursday. And the Druze make great food. They serve in the IDF.
They're
fascinating.
a fascinating community, and it's, sadly the picture's not up anymore. But there was this fascinating rainbow in the back.
Right, rainbow coalition of Druze and Israeli. I mean, they are Israelis.
Druze and rainbow people. Yeah. I'm just not saying anything, but I love it.
You know, it is. You know, the Holy Land is many faiths, many religions: Druze, Muslim, Jewish.
And one day maybe we'll all get along.
Well, we're starting to. Things like that show you that actually more people get along sometimes than meets the eye. And if you doubt that, just talk to Pope Francis.
Okay, I knew that was coming. There's going to be a lead there. Okay, what does Pope Francis have to say?
Pope Francis says to strip it away. He says. He says.
Strip what away?
He says strip away everything that oppresses you, because that's what it means to follow Jesus.
Wait. To follow Jesus means putting him first
and stripping ourselves of the things that oppress our hearts. That is pretty brazen language from the Pope.
Is the Pope calling for us all to take our clothes off? Do we think
anything that oppresses? You know, just peel it off.
Oh Lord.
And you know,
this Pope.
This is a Pope who only follows himself on Twitter. He does amazing things that nobody else can do. Follows himself 8 ways.
8 ways?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there.
You know who did go there?
Sinead did once.
Lady Gaga.
Oh.
She has stripped things that oppress her.
Such as?
Her clothes.
Lady Gaga went
her new single, Do What You Want, features Gaga in a very artistic sort of pose.
Give me a break.
And
artistic. I know you love her, but my God, this is porn.
This is art. This is pop culture at its most extreme.
Yeah, pop crush porn.
Yeah.
I
haven't heard the single, but I'm interested already.
What's the name of the single? My Hiney?
Do What You Want.
Do What You Want.
Yeah.
Do What You Want.
It's a newer, more refreshing Gaga.
Well, it looks incredibly uncomfortable, I have to say.
it would do well on the beach in Tel Aviv once they remove the muck.
The muck. And we bring it all together.
And we bring it back to Miley Cyrus.
Of course.
Yes.
Speaking of behind.
Now, the other day we noted here on this broadcast how she said she didn't want to get any advice from old Jewish men.
I know.
Well,
it's a wrong phrase.
Some Jews took note, including Bloomberg Business Week, and they have a column about old Jewish men have some valuable advice for Miley Cyrus.
I love it. What was the advice? Did they have the advice?
Well, they quote David Ben-Gurion. The founder of the modern state of Israel, who says, thought is a strenuous art, few practice it, and then only at rare times.
Or think before you strip, woman.
Yeah. That's one. They mention Rabbi David Wolpe,
rabbi
of Sinai Temple in Los Angeles, who quotes Saul Bellow, who says you can spend the entire second half of your life recovering from the mistakes of the first half.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint, Miley. Hint, hint. Leonard Cohen.
Nice.
An old Jew.
An old Jew, yeah.
He says, the older I get, the surer I am that I'm not running the show.
Lovely.
Yeah, so Miley, if she's listening, old Jewish men have good things to say.
Exactly.
Let's not even get started with Paul Simon and all that, but the article on AtlanticWire.com is quite compelling stuff.
All old Jewish men giving her the advice. Okay, what else?
Speaking of pop culture.
Yes.
Eminem is back in the news.
Wow, Eminem.
Eminem.
Is it about his kid, his daughter?
No, it's about his homophobic lyrics in a song called Rap God. He is kind of a rap god.
He is. He's the white rap god.
He's a white rap god, and apparently his lyrics are questionable. They're sparking the whole homophobic thing again because he's gotten into that kind of hot water in the past.
Okay, well, what were the lyrics?
I can't repeat those lyrics on the air, but
okay.
But if you go to the Hollywood Reporter or virtually any news site,
you can personally get offended.
Yeah. And he's saying that he's been quoted in the past as saying, and I quote, "I don't have any problem with nobody." So
it's great English.
I think that from the horse's mouth,
I have no problem with nobody.
Yeah. Now he's saying that it's just his art, and it's one of his personas that's spewing these lyrics, and he may have a point, but he may have gone a little bit too far with the latest.
Why would somebody want to personify anybody who's homophobic? But that's
but so it's if he wants controversy, he's got it. He's in the news.
He's selling now.
Yeah. On the same day that in New Jersey, gay marriage is finally legal.
Okay.
So this is New York Magazine is reporting on this. Governor Chris Christie He had this last-minute attempt to delay marriage equality in New Jersey. It failed.
I was about to ask if Christie, known Republican, and sometimes also hinted as a possible runner on the Republican ticket.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Talk about bacon.
Talk about a lot of it. Yeah,
but anyways, the state's highest court ruled that New Jersey has to start granting marriage licenses to gay couples starting today, making it the 14th state to recognize same-sex weddings. And what does Eminem have to say about that? I called him. He didn't take my call. I don't know.
I tried. You did your journalistic job. Okay. What else?
Marry me.
Always. Yes. This people you've noticed it happened on the air. Tony just asked me to marry him.
Actually, marry me is something I would love to say to you, but today I'm going to give that spotlight to Serbian bachelor Don Juan Gonzalez Brigitte.
Don Juan
our own Oprah Parisman has informed me about this Serbian tycoon who has gone online posting pictures of his incredible wealth in the hopes that it will get him a bride.
Oh my God.
There's a picture of him.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Okay.
He can put a ring on your finger so big you can't even lift it.
All the single ladies.
All the single ladies.
Look at that bed.
Yeah,
look at that bed. This can be all yours. Women,
it's on boardpanda.org. This guy, he lives in St. Petersburg. Apparently he's only 39, but he's got a lot of gray hair for 39.
No, he's 39?
I think.
Get out.
He's 39.
The shoes matching the tie. This is a man with flair.
Could have matching underwear.
Yeah, and a great knack for home design. No,
it's a little bit of Liberace thing going on there.
Yeah,
but
I will consider it strongly, but you're my first choice.
16 years old is his minimum age.
Nice. Tony, thank you for this, breaking news this morning, and lovely having you every morning. Thank you.